Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. It's early. It's 8 a.m. here on the East Coast, and I'm rarely up this early, but today's a special day. Today's an exception because we are finally get to see which movies from last year are going to get nominated for this year's Oscars. The Academy Awards, the very prestigious Academy Awards. It's going to be an interesting show this year. I believe we may have some guest hosts this time. It sounds like they're trying to bring back the hosting to the show, and I don't know if there's going to be a solid host, a singular host, or if they're going to do snippets of like groups of hosts or whatever have you like that. I kind of preferred the non-hosted shows. It made the program run much quicker and all that stuff like that. But yeah, it will be interesting. But it'll also be interesting because it's going to be an awards show that will be featured films that I'm sure most people have had a chance to see because the theaters were back open. Not like in the last year where everything was still in pandemic mode and all that. So it was kind of weird how a lot of things that were nominated were more along the lines of things that you could see online streaming or at the festivals and things like that. So really, really curious to see how this is going to play out. Thank you for watching. If you don't know who I am Renee. This is the Low Key Geek channel, and I host shows like the Morning After Spoiler podcast, where I review a weekly show, whatever the big show is of that week. And that's usually right now Boba Fett. And later on, we'll be covering things like, any of the Marvel shows. I'm going to be talking about Peacemaker once Boba Fett's over, because I've been watching that, and that's been a lot of fun. But you know what? We're not here to talk about streaming or TV. We're here to talk about movies. And a lot of people who are like myself, and hopefully some of you, have been talking a lot about who's going to get nominated. Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress. It's going to be interesting to see. It seems like there's definitely a lot of clear contenders that are very common amongst the people who are, predicting who the nominees are going to be like. If you follow a lot of the awards circuits, we are seeing some patterns here and there. So I'm very curious to see how that's really going to play out once the nominees are announced. And once the show airs next month, I believe it's going to be towards the end of March when the program airs, and we'll see who wins and who walks away with that little golden statue. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you are here live, I can't see the counts or whoever's watching, but if you are here and you're joining, throw a comment in. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about these movies, moving pictures, things that people watch on the big screen or at home. And let's see what, you guys are thinking about who are going to be nominated. And I'm curious to hear or to see which movie is going to have the most nominations surrounding them. Could it be possibly Dune, West Side Story, King Richard? A lot of people are talking about that. Power of the Dog. That has been the one movie that everyone's been talking about since October-ish. So it'll be really, really interesting to see how that, what's going to happen there. But now, for some bizarre reason, the nominees aren't going to be announced until 8:19 a.m., I believe. Which is the weirdest time to start something, but that is what they're planning to do. But while we wait, let's talk about some of these possible nominations here. So I went on this site, awardsdaily.com, and they are, they follow a lot of the award circuits and all that. And they have their own predictions as to who the nominees are going to be. I'm not going to cover all of them, but I think it'll be interesting to see what the predictions are for the main categories. And those are, Best Picture, Best Director, Actor, Actress. And then if we have some time, we'll go into like the supporting actor and actresses categories as well. So their predictions. Now, if you know the format of the show, I believe up to 8 movies can now be nominated for the Best Picture category. So they have, I think, 8 to 10. So they have their predictions based off of what they've been seeing from the other awards shows and what everyone's talking about. So you have here Belfast, The Power of the Dog, Licorice Pizza, Dune, West Side Story, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Coda, Tick Tick Boom, Being the Ricardos. And alternates, these are possibilities, but they might be like, far-fetched. Nightmare Alley, Drive My Car, and House of Gucci. So I'll be honest, I've seen all of these movies with the exception of two. I have not seen Licorice Pizza yet. That is a movie that I always mean to watch. I'm like, schedule myself for the week. I'm like, okay, now this is going to be my chance to go finally watch this movie. And then I just never do. I'm planning to watch it this week, hopefully, if things work out. But, I've been hearing a lot of mixed stuff about it. Paul, PTA, he's kind of hit or miss lately with a lot of people, including myself. And after watching a movie called Red Rocket, if you're familiar with that movie, I think I've had enough of the underage romance as far as movies is concerned, because that had my fill when I watched Red Rocket. If you don't know what the Red Rocket is, look it up. It's a very, very interesting movie. Well directed, but very interesting subject matter there. But Licorice Pizza, I hear, because it has an underage romance in there and all that. So a lot of people were talking about that. So it is kind of interesting to see it included in the list of the Best Picture nominations. But I think it's more because of the director, and that's PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson. Being the Ricardos is the other movie I didn't see yet, because there was something about that movie when I saw the trailer. Nicole Kidman playing Lucille Ball and Javier Bardem as Ricky Ricardo. It just didn't seem like it would work for me. It had like a strange feeling in the trailer when I saw it. So I haven't seen it yet. I may watch it just because of, the Oscars. If it ends up being nominated, I want to see for myself, like, is this really a good movie? It'll be interesting to see really how that plays out. Out of this list here, the ones that I definitely strongly feel should be included is The Power of the Dog, West Side Story, Coda for sure. I won't be surprised to see King Richard on here, and Dune. I would love to see them recognize Dune for the epic movie that it was. A long shot, but also one of my favorite movies from last year was Drive My Car. It's a movie from Japan. Probably the best foreign movie I watched all of last year. It was a movie that was taken from a Murakami short story, I believe. And it was just so well directed, so well acted, very complex storyline, and very touching subject matter and all that. And I really, really loved it. Really long movie, but it was really, really well done. So I'll be really, really curious to see out of these predictions what's going to come true. Best director, you have Jane Campion for Power of the Dog, Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Denis Villeneuve for Dune, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. Now, for alternates, they've listed here Guillermo del Toro for Nightmare Alley, Adam McKay for Don't Look Up, and Ryusuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. So I think this list is pretty solid based off of what I've been seeing in the award circuit. I don't think there's anyone missing here per se. So I won't be surprised if the nominees reveal these to be the choices for Best Director. Best Actress, again, here's my surprise for Nicole Kidman. I guess she did a good job. I have been hearing good things about it. But you have Nicole Kidman for being the Ricardos, Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter. This was like a late entry in my opinion, because this movie came out on Netflix in, I believe, late December, and I watched it on a whim, and I thought she did a brilliant job in that movie. And Olivia Colman already is an Oscar winner, so I won't be surprised if she gets recognized for that. Lady Gaga for House of Gucci, and Jennifer Hudson for Respect. Now, I don't know about that one. Not saying that she's a bad actress, but I really didn't feel like that portrayal of Aretha Franklin in that movie was that strong, in my opinion. Um, the movie had its issues, and by far she's probably like the best thing in that movie. But I'm surprised that a movie that came out so earlier in the year would get recognized, because the one problem with the nominees and the Oscars and all that is that there's always recency bias. They only like really pay attention to the movies that came out the last 3 months of the year. So it'll be really, really interesting if this really comes true. As alternatives, they have Rachel Zegler for West Side Story, Tessa Thompson for Passing, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer. Now, my pick really out of this bunch that I would really, really love to see nominated is Kristen Stewart for Spencer. I think her portrayal of Princess Di was brilliantly done. The movie itself is so haunting, very, very emotional, seeing kind of the last days of her real, true marriage with Prince Charles. And, just like how the same treatment that they did with Jackie, I thought it was so well done. And, Kristen Stewart was just so good in that movie. So I think if she doesn't get nominated for Best Actress, that is going to be the major snub, in my opinion. For Best Actor, we have Will Smith for King Richard, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog, Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, and Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos. For alternates, you have Leonardo DiCaprio for Don't Look Up and Peter Dinklage for Cyrano. I haven't seen Cyrano yet because it is not out in any theater right now, any theater near me. I think I could probably go to some indie theater in the city and all that. If you don't know, I am in New York, but I don't feel like I want to really go out of my way right now to go watch that movie. It will be released, I believe, in early March or later this month. So it'll be really, really interesting to finally get a chance to watch this movie. Hopefully I can watch it in time before the award show, if it comes true that maybe he might get nominated. Everyone, this is a race between two people, from what everyone's talking about and from what we've been seeing in the award circuit right now. And that's in between Will Smith and Andrew Garfield. Will Smith, for the longest time, was the forerunner here. He was the one that was like, ahead of the pack. And then when Tick, Tick, Boom came out, everyone was just like, oh, wait a minute. Andrew Garfield now, he did something special here, and he did. I was hesitant to watch this movie only because it is directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who I kind of have fatigue on right now. I feel like after watching In the Heights and all the stuff that he's done with like Disney and everything like that, I feel like he's just everywhere, right? He's brilliant, but I feel like it's just a little bit too much. But then I finally sat down and I watched it, and I was like, wow, this is a really, really well-directed movie. And who better to direct a movie about the true story of a playwright, the guy who created Rent and who died right before Rent went live on Broadway. Who better to direct a movie like that than him? So Andrew Garfield was amazing in that movie. I thought he did an amazing job there. So it will be interesting to see what the final tally is going to be like at the end of the day there. So we are slowly approaching game time, people. So let's just run through the supporting actresses and actors. You have Ariana DeBois for West Side Story, Catriona Balfe for Belfast, Kristen Dunst for Power of the Dog. I am going to butcher this name. Wanjuane Ellis. Oh, man. Sorry about that. For King Richard, Kate Blanchett for Nightmare Alley. For alternates, you have Rita Moreno for West Side Story, Marlee Matlin for Coda, Nina Arianda for Being the Ricardos, Ann Dowd for Mass, Haley Bennett for Cyrano, and Martha Plimpton for Mass. My number one pick here after watching Nightmare Alley is Kate Blanchett. I think Kate Blanchett is an underdog in this race here, but she did a brilliant job. Ooh, I am hearing music. Oh, are they starting? Oh, they got the countdown going. All right. So, real quick, supporting actor Cody Smith McPhee for The Power of the Dog, Troy Kotzer for Coda, Ciaran Hinds for Belfast, Jared Leto for House of Gucci, Bradley Cooper for Licorice Pizza. Then for alternates, they have Ben Affleck for The Tender Bar, Mark Rylance for Don't Look Up, Mike Feist for West Side Story, Jonah Hill for Don't Look Up, J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos. It's going to be interesting to really see if Jared Leto gets nominated, because that was the one criticism of House of Gucci, was that his character was just so comical, so over the top, so Jared Leto, that it threw a lot of people off. So, but there were a lot of people that loved his portrayal in that movie. When I watched it, he was the one that got all the laughs and people were really like enjoying his presence on screen. So this could happen. But I do feel like the winner here could possibly be Cody Smith McPhee for The Power of the Dog, because that was just an amazing performance from that actor. So again, interesting to see what will play out and how things are going to be like. So with that being said, let us enjoy this countdown, because it looks like we got just under 2 minutes for showtime. All right, I'm excited. I tell people all the time, every year the Oscars are like my Super Bowl, because I am such a huge movie fan. And I usually join some other friends in watching the show, and we have our own little Oscar pool and all that. Stay tuned. I will be announcing Loki Geek Channel exclusive Oscar pool with a grand prize to the winner. So if you're interested to seeing how you can join that, stay tuned to the channel, or stay tuned to Twitter. You could go to my Twitter. You could see it on the screen. And I will post once the details of the Oscar pool is completed and released, so that you can join in on the fun and maybe win yourself a prize. So, all right, here we go. It is showtime. Interesting choice of announcers for this too. So I wonder how they're going to do it. I believe last year they had the Jonah brother, who's married to Priyanka. I think they announced it last year. So
good morning, afternoon, evening.
Hello.
I may be in the movie capital of the world, but movies really live wherever you come together, in theaters or in your homes.
Oh, is that right?
Great stories told on the screen. And today we celebrate that, thanks to the nearly 9,500 voting members of the Academy. They're movie makers, sure, but really movie lovers, about to share the films they've loved the most this year. I hope you're doing the same.
We shall
with
see.
your friends and your family. Now's the time. Movie lovers unite.
Yes, let's do it.
Tracy Ellis Ross and Leslie Jordan.
I am so excited. I went.
See, now I feel bad because I didn't dress up. Yeah, I look like I probably just woke up, but.
Leslie, someone did not read the memo. The Oscars are not tonight. They're on March 27th. This morning, we just announced the nominees.
Oh, I like this trivia question over here. Which film holds the record for most Oscar wins? That is The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
This whole thing?
That is right.
My workout outfit, Leslie. I just threw this on to go to cycling class in an hour. All right. This year's Oscars theme is Movie Lovers Unite, and during this next half hour, we will be joined by some very
As we've been told,
movie lovers across the country to help us announce some of the nominees. Are you ready, Leslie?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go. Stop talking.
Doesn't feel right for the Oscar announcement.
Okay. All right. Well,
what's he doing? He's gonna get a beer?
Nominees in most categories are chosen by members of their respective branches, but nominees for Best Picture are
I don't have a
chosen
beer,
by
but I
the
have
entire
coffee.
Academy membership. And if you stay tuned to find out how this year you, the fans, will be able to get.
Oh, what is he doing? What is that? A lay? Oh, he is just. Oh, he's just feeling it.
Now I'm ready.
There he is.
Understated and traditional.
Very much
Here are the
understated.
nominees for performance.
It's like, let me just. I'm just gonna talk.
Jesse The Lost Daughter.
Okay.
Ariana DeBose in West Side Story.
I agree with that 100%.
In Belfast.
Interesting.
Kirsten Dunst in Power of the Dog.
All right, not surprised by
and
that.
Ingenue Ellis in King Richard.
Ingenue.
My turn.
Interesting. All right.
Achievement in costume design.
Ooh.
Costume design. How are you going to jump from best supporting actress to costume design? All right.
Dune.
Oh, okay.
Nightmare Alley. And West Side Story.
I think Cruella is going to walk away with this one because Cruella had amazing costumes and fashion design. Achievement in sound.
Dune.
Okay.
No Time to Die.
Interesting. James Bond. Okay.
West Side Story.
Now this is sound, not music. So I won't be surprised if Dune walks away with that one.
Michigan. Joining us are 11 healthcare professionals from Beaumont Hospital.
Oh wow, that's really nice.
Physician's assistant and fellow movie lover, Shantia Bobo Harden, who loves the movie Girl Trip. Shantia, over to you.
Girl Trip.
Thank you, Tracy. Here are the nominees for Achievement in Music, Original Score.
All right.
Don't Look Up. Dune.
Okay.
Encanto.
All right.
Parallel Mothers.
Interesting.
And the
Okay.
Power of the Dog.
All right.
Thank you so
Is there
much, Shantia.
Hans Zimmer for
And
Dune?
thank you
How
to
can
all
he
the
not
healthcare
win
workers
for
in
that,
Beaumont,
right?
all
I
across
mean,
the country who do so much for all
that
of us. Thank
score
you.
was just so good.
Leslie, wait. Is that an official
What's he
Oscar
wearing now?
ribbon? And if so, why didn't I get one?
I borrowed it from your Oscar nominations gift basket.
Ah, okay.
And now,
These guys are
adapted screenplay,
hilarious.
The nominees are Coda, screenplay by Sean Hayter,
Good. Nice.
screenplay by Ryusuke Hamaguchi,
Oh, Drive My Car. Nice.
Taka Masaoa, Dune, screenplay by John Spates,
Okay.
Denis
Oh boy. Come on, get it together, guy.
The Lost Daughter, written by Maggie Gyllenhaal.
and the Power of the
Really good
Dog,
movie,
written
by the
by
way,
Jane
if you haven't
Campion.
seen it. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's
Here
a
are the
tough one.
nominees
I'm gonna
for
have to look into
original
that later.
screenplay. Belfast, written by Kenneth Branagh.
A lot of people talking
Don't
about that
Look Up,
movie.
Screenplay by Adam McKay.
That's not
Story
gonna
by Adam
win.
McKay,
I don't think
David
so.
Sirota.
That movie has
King
been so
Richard,
split.
written by Zach Balin.
All right.
Licorice Pizza, written
Oh,
by Paul
PTA.
Thomas Anderson.
Of course.
And The Worst Person in the World, written by Eskil Vogt.
Again,
and
another movie I
Joaquin
haven't had a
Phoenix.
chance to see yet.
Here
I
are the
think Belfast
nominees
might
for
walk away with
Best
that one.
Animated short film. Affairs of the
Is he okay?
Box Ballet, Robin Robin, and The Windshield Wiper.
Okay.
Another category for me. Back to back Leslie again. I think they like my announcer voice. And now,
Oh, yeah, we
the
love
nominees
your
for Best
announcing.
Live-action short film.
Well
This
done.
guy.
A la Cachu, Take and Run,
Hey, bless you.
The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, and Please Hold.
I haven't.
So
Yeah.
appropriate that I just
When it
announced
comes to these
animated short
categories,
film
usually a lot of these I don't
live-action
never
short
get a chance to
form. I
see.
am
So
animated.
I am
and
curious
short.
about them.
Oh, Leslie. And now here are the nominees for
This guy's
performance
hilarious,
by
isn't
an
he?
Actor in a supporting role. Kareen Hines in Belfast.
Nice.
Troy
Okay.
Kotzer in Coda.
Great choice.
Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog.
Ooh. Hoo, hoo.
J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos.
Okay.
And Cody Smith-McPhee in Power
There we go.
of the Dog.
He's the one. I'm telling you right now. That's going to be the winner right there.
Just a few minutes, we've got more nominee announcements coming up, including those for lead actor and actress, director, and best picture.
What happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. They're splitting it up for some reason.
How much fun is this?
Well, this is the most fun I have ever had at 5:25 in the morning.
On the West Coast. Could you imagine?
You can tell that Leslie and
Oh.
I are bristling. We are bristling with diversity. We are bringing diversity to these announcements. I am Moderna.
And I am sparkling Pfizer.
Leslie, are you boosted?
Oh, boy.
Yes, Tracy, I'm sitting
Oh,
on a pillow.
here comes the little dribble.
Okay. Joining us is another movie lover, film enthusiast, Reese Feldman. Reese, what's your reaction to the nominees for supporting actress? Tell us everything.
This is such a stacked category. I love it so much. Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter. I really loved her, and I'm thinking of ending things, so I'm really excited that she's getting recognized for this. Although
I agree.
Olivia Colman's getting a lot of praise for her performance in this movie. It's Jessie Buckley who helps move this story forward from the past.
Very
she's
true.
Just
Yeah.
incredible. Ariana DeBose, hearing her name announced really just made me smile. Simply put, she's perfect as Anita in West Side Story. And
Yeah.
for a character that's
I
already
would,
won
yeah.
Rita Moreno
Honestly,
Oscar
I
60
would
years
love
prior,
to
it's just
see
so
her
incredible to me that she was able to step into this role and
walk
just make
away
it
with that
entirely her own.
because
Dame
her
Judi Dench
performance
for
was
Belfast,
so good.
7-time Oscar nominee, already won back in '98 for Shakespeare in Love. She's just so dialed in throughout this entire film and just plays great off of Kieran Hines. And I'm kind of excited to see her maybe get a second win. Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog. This was one I was really hoping for. I mean, that piano scene, gosh, she is such a talent. And I
It was
really
nice
hope
to see
this is
her
the
in
role
this
that she's
role.
gonna be remembered for moving forward.
Yeah.
And I think the success of
It's
the
almost
movie
like
largely
helps
deals
her.
with how good
It
she
kind of
is.
helps her come
And
back
honestly,
in a way.
definitely not least, Anjanou Ellis. She has been consistently amazing in every role that she's been in for decades. And although she
Yeah.
plays a supporting role in King Richard, she really does feel like an
So many
additional
people were
lead
talking
next to
about Will Smith
for just how much power
for the
she
longest
brings to the
time, and
performance. So
I
it was
felt
just a
she should
great
have gotten
category.
more buzz as well. And it's nice to see that she
What's
is
your
getting
take
that.
on the
So
costume nominees or on my costume?
Yours is fantastic, and it's the biggest snub here. It should have been nominated. But yes, Cruella, honestly, a really fun surprise of a movie of 2021, and obviously the costumes are such a focus. It's a fashion movie.
Yeah.
The 70s London just does so much for it, and every dress genuinely looks like it deserves to be at the Met Gala.
yeah, for me, it's all
Cyrano,
about Cruella.
I'm a sucker for period pieces, and the fact that it takes place in 17th century France just feels like it was written for me. The formal wear, the military uniforms, the design at the plays, it's all just so
Again,
good.
haven't seen it yet.
Dune,
but
I
looking
think,
forward
is
to.
such a cool nomination because it's a sci-fi movie, and it's really tough to submerge a viewer in the reality of the film, and because of the costuming, it kind of grounds us in this futuristic reality. It's
They're
advanced
definitely
and
killing
familiar.
time here for sure.
Nightmare Alley,
So not
I
surprised.
really liked that. It has just so many different settings. The
Nightmare
carnival
Alley
scenes are great, and the costuming
is
wonderful.
a
And the world set in
fantastic
Guillermo del Toro's
movie.
crafts,
But
the
in this
costumes absolutely
category,
match it,
it's
and
a
the whole
tough.
look
It's
of the
really
film is
tough
wonderful.
competition
And
for
lastly, West Side
real.
Story. This film, 60 years prior, has already won an Oscar for costume design, and I really wouldn't be surprised if it wins again.
I don't think so.
costumes, the color, the attention to detail.
I mean, I won't be
of
mad,
each costume
but I don't think it's
speaks
gonna
to
win.
the characters as individuals. It's really just one of the many reasons why I love that movie so much this year.
What categories are you most excited to see?
Wow.
coming up?
Okay.
Oh, I've been dying to
They
see
are
who's
really
gonna get
killing
nominated
time,
for Best
trying
Picture.
their best to
That's
kill
what I've been
time here. They're
waiting
stretching this.
for.
Stretch it.
And
Come on.
Do you see any trends?
Stop
do you See any
talking.
trends developing? Anything that's you can cue us into?
I don't know. I feel like it's too early to say. I really love who's.
Why are you putting this poor guy on the spot? Don't you have anyone else to talk to?
I guess also best film editing. That's one that I always love to look out for, and I'm always interested to how the Academy voters decide. So that's definitely another one that I'm kind of really looking forward to.
Okay, enough. Can we move on, please?
Thank you so much, Reese. It's
Thank you.
Fun hearing your take on all of this, and we'll be checking back in with you later.
Sounds great.
I hope they really don't. But, I mean, he's not bad.
So,
It's just...
Leslie, how's it feeling on your side?
Feeling good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. This is kind of painful. So, last year, it felt more scripted, right? And I think it was pre-recorded. Them doing it live like this, you could see how painful it could be.
What an Oscar nomination is like, but a boy can dream.
Oh, Leslie and a girl can dream too.
For those hunker downers just joining us, good morning.
Good morning. And for those who have been watching, welcome.
Good morning.
All right.
I've never left.
Time for the rest of the Oscar nomination announcements, including the big one.
Thank you.
At the end for Big Picture.
All right.
Here are the nominees for achievement in film editing.
Editing. Okay.
Don't Look Up. Dune.
All right. Dune's getting a lot of nominees. A lot of nominations.
Power of the Dog. And Tick Tick Boom.
Interesting choices.
Why, Leslie, don't you look beautiful?
Well, thank you, Tracy.
Oh, you're
Next,
welcome.
I get to
Oh,
announce
man.
everyone
This is
up for
so
achievement
cringy
in
right now.
makeup and hairstyling. None of whom showed up at my house this morning. I did this all myself.
You did?
Yeah.
You don't
Here are
say.
the nominees. Coming to America.
What?
Cruella.
Wow.
Dune.
The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Oh,
House
okay.
of Gucci.
Interesting. All right.
And now it is time to meet a huge movie fan coming to us from Tampa.
A huge movie fan and a huge guy. Well, to me, everyone is huge.
He stole my
Oh,
joke. I was just
Leslie.
about to say that.
He is a WWE superstar who established the award-winning Thaddeus M. Bullard Academy at Sly Middle Magnet School. The Academy's mission is to serve economically disadvantaged students by providing them with a
Very nice.
first-class education and creating a wonderful culture of positivity. Here is Titus O'Neill.
Titus.
Thanks, Tracy and Leslie. To read the names of the nominees in this next category is a fellow movie lover, 8th grade track star, high honor roll student, Courtney Anderson, who loves the entire Twilight movie series. Courtney,
She's in 8th grade?
Here are the nominees. For
She
the
looks like
best
she's
animated
freaking 20-something years old. Wow.
Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machine, and Raya and the Lost Dragon.
Okay, interesting. So there is big competition there between Mitchell and the Machines and Encanto. So
Thanks to Titus, Courtney, and all those
it's a tough choice for me. Encanto was good, but I didn't think it was that great.
Nominees for achievement in
Mitchell versus the
music
Machines,
original
however, real good. So
Be Alive from King Richard.
Dos Oruguitas from Encanto.
Down to Joy from Belfast.
No Time to
Oh, it's
Die
Van
from
Morrison,
No Time
so
to Die.
oh no. Well, that's
And
Billie Eilish
Somehow
though.
You Do from 4 Good Days.
The category is
Will
Best
Billie
Documentary
Eilish win
Short.
this?
Make me do the
I
short
don't know.
category again.
It'll be
I
interesting to
didn't do it.
see.
It wasn't me.
It was you. It was you. Here are the nominees for Best Documentary Short Subject.
Short
Audible,
subject.
Lead Me Home.
I don't think I've had a chance to watch any of these.
3 songs for Ben.
And I
Ziegler.
watched a whole bunch of
And When
documentaries
We Were
last year.
Boys. And now here are the nominees for Best Documentary Feature.
All right, let's see if any of the ones I've seen are on here.
Attica,
Nope.
Flea,
Flea, I want to see.
Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised.
That is a great one.
and Riding
great
with
choice.
Fire.
I think Summer of Soul is going to win this
Joining
one.
us from Times Square York's
Hey.
bravest members of the Fire Department of New York. At the microphone is fellow
What's up,
movie
guys?
Lieutenant
New
Thomas
York in the
Brody.
house.
Favorite movie
Represent.
is
Goodfellas. Oh, come on. Why am I not surprised by that?
Times Square, here are the nominees for achievement in visual effects.
Oh, okay.
Please.
This is a fun category.
Dune. Free
Mm-hmm.
Guy. No
Okay.
Time to Die. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the
Oh,
Ten
he
Rings.
almost didn't know how to pronounce that.
Spider-Man.
Ooh, wow. That's a tough category.
Thank you so much to all the firefighters, paramedics.
My first thing was I wanted to say Dune, but Spider-Man No Way Home? I don't know. Could that be the only award that movie will win? That could be its choice. Cinematography. Oh.
Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West
Another
Side
good one.
Story.
Oof.
And now, here are the nominees for Achievement in Production Design.
Yeah, that's something I'm going to have to dive into later on.
Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story.
Okay. Kind of expected that. Oh, now he has a hat.
Are you wearing
Nice.
something different again?
Just because I'm hunkered down. doesn't mean
This
I
guy's
can't
giving me
dress up.
real weird
Here are the
Mickey
nominees
Rooney
for Best
vibes.
International feature film.
Oh, yes. Here we go. Drive My Car. Yep. That's it.
Flee, Denmark.
That's the end. That's going to be the winner.
Hand of God, Italy. Luana, a yak in the classroom, Bhutan. And the worst person in the world, Norway.
Oh, man. But a lot of people are talking about that movie, though.
There's one for you.
Drive My Car would be the one for me.
To Ira Aldridge Theater at Howard University in Washington, D.C., where we have a special presenter. Felicia Rashad is Dean of the Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts.
What's
and
up,
joins
Felicia?
us with some of her students. Hello.
Hello, and thank you, Leslie and Tracy. All of our students here are so inspired by Chadwick Boseman, a Howard grad who was so committed to this university. And as you know, Chadwick was
R.I.P.
nominated last year for Best Actor, and we are so honored to announce the nominees in this category. Speaking on behalf of the students who are with us today is a senior who's receiving his BFA in acting, John Woods III.
Oh, very nice.
The nominees for performance by an actor in a leading role are Javier Bardem in Being the Ricardos,
Okay.
Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog,
All right.
Andrew Garfield in Tick Tick Boom,
So
Will
far,
Smith
as
in
expected.
King Richard,
Yep.
and Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth.
I'm telling you, the two, Will Smith and Benedict, that's going to be the two to look out for in that category.
Joined us today.
And now, the nominees for performance by an actress in a leading role.
Oh, here it is. Will Kristen Stewart get it?
Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Uh-huh.
Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter.
Okay.
Penelope Cruz in Parallel Mothers.
Look at that. Wow.
Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos.
Mm-hmm.
And Kristen Stewart.
Yes!
Spencer.
They got it right. They got it right.
Woo, this is
They
so
got it right.
exciting. The
Oh, I am
first
so
is for
happy about that.
achievement in directing, and the nominees are Kenneth Branagh, Belfast.
Again, a lot of people talking about that movie.
Ryusuke Hamaguchi, Drive My Car.
Wow.
Paul Thomas
Unbelievable.
Anderson, Licorice Pizza.
Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog.
Uh-huh.
And Steven Spielberg, West Side Story.
No surprise there.
And
Okay.
finally, the
Wow. Drive My Car.
nominees for Best Picture.
All right, here we go.
Belfast, Laura Berwick, Kenneth
Mhm.
Branagh, Becca Kovacic, and Tamar Thomas, producers.
Coda, Philippe Rousselet.
Nice.
Fabrice
I was really
Jeff
hoping
Laramie,
that movie
and
would get
Patrick
nominated. Such a good movie.
Wachsberger, producer. Pizza, producers.
Don't Look Up, Adam McKay and Kevin Messick, producers.
I'm
Drive
still
My
really
Car.
surprised. Yes.
Lisa Yamamoto,
Wow.
producer.
Oh, I was. Wow.
Mary Parent,
That's so unexpected for me.
Villeneuve, and Cale Boiter, producers.
King Richard, Tim White, Trevor White.
No
and Will
Denis
Smith,
Villeneuve
producers.
option for director, though, huh?
Licorice Pizza, Sarah Murphy, Adam Somner, and Paul Thomas Anderson, producers.
Okay.
Nightmare Alley, Guillermo del Toro.
Wow.
Dale, and Bradley Cooper.
Was not expecting that either.
The Power of the Dog, Jane Campion, Tanya Segachian.
You got it. Come
Neil
on.
Sherman, Ian Canning, and Roger Frappier.
Get there, get there.
producers.
And West Side Story, Steven Spielberg and Christy McCosco Krieger, producers.
All right.
10
That's it,
great
huh?
Best Picture nominees.
Wow.
Please make sure to watch the Oscars on March 27th on ABC and go to
So much to say.
Oscars.org
All right,
learn how
March
to vote to get
27th.
your
All right.
favorite movie and movie moment featured on this year's Oscars.
So much to say
It was
right
so
now.
exciting to wake up with you, Tracy. I can't wait for Oscar night.
You're the best, Leslie. Oh, what a treat you are. And the best part, you're already dressed.
All right, are you guys done?
And now let's hear from professional.
Oh, we're gonna have this guy back. All right.
Bring in Reese.
Well, let's
Reese
let's
Feldman,
finish it out.
you are
I am
ready for
going
us?
to look up
We
the
can
full
go through
list
the best picture nominees because we are dying
because,
to hear from
like I
you.
said, there's a lot to talk about right now.
So excited about every picture that's nominated. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. To start off, Kenneth Branagh's Belfast. It's such a deeply personal film, and it reads through every shot in the movie.
What? Oh, I like the way he pronounces
and
it. Belfast.
He angles it
It's like
through,
breakfast.
the lens of like adolescence, and it really just paints this really sweet portrait of a family in an otherwise tumultuous time in Northern Ireland's history. Coda.
Belfast.
I really love when
I can go for some
incredibly charming films
Belfast
like
right
this
now.
Get recognized by the Academy. Also, while Sound of Metal was a solid stepping point for the deaf community's representation in film, Coda
Yes.
really drives home the point that these
100% agree.
and need to get made, and it's easily one of my favorites from the year. If you haven't seen it,
Oh,
definitely watch
I'm
it.
sorry. I didn't realize I was like
Another one where I really just
interfering
love
with.
when comedies get recognized by the Academy, and of course
What's
when
going on my screen?
headlined by Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, you know it was going to be good. And while the comedic bits are awesome, I really do love those introspective, dramatic beats like the final dinner scene. Just wonderful.
Sorry about that.
Drive My Car. This is one that I'm grinning ear to ear because of this nomination.
That
The
is
Japanese
the
film
big
industry
surprise for me.
has always been and remains to be such a powerhouse of cinema. And out of all the movies I've seen this year, it's definitely the most atmospheric. And its 3-hour runtime, although long, it's just every shot in it, you could just tell it's nothing short of perfect. I'm very excited that I'm alive at the same time as Denis Villeneuve, just because he is such an ambitious filmmaker, and every one
Still,
of his
I am
films
very
is
shocked.
a
No
masterpiece. He just
director
churns
nod
out
for
hit
him.
after hit. And Dune, he just effectively brings this amazing story right off the page, and it translates perfectly onto the screen. When I first heard that they were doing a Venus Williams and Serena Williams biopic, I thought it was going to be the normal route. But when I watched King Richard, I was so pleasantly surprised it was from the perspective of their father, and it was such a brilliant
King
choice
Richard
that
was a good
100%
movie.
works.
A surprisingly
It's
good
just
movie.
Like a really great biopic with a particularly interesting glance into a brief time before we
And
knew
a
who
great
they were.
message. A really great
Now, Paul
message
Thomas
in that
Anderson
movie.
Is, he's always great, and Licorice Pizza is nothing short of great. And I really love the fact that not only is it a coming-of-age movie, but that he cast 2 new actors as the leads. And their acting doesn't read as inexperienced at all, but instead reads as raw and genuine, and it just works for the movie.
I mean, I have yet to still see the movie, so I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Nightmare Alley from 1947 with Tyrone Power
Yes,
is great.
that is another
So when I heard
surprise.
that they were
I am
making
so
it, I was
happy
a little
that
nervous,
it
but
made it
of
into
course,
this category.
Del Toro is just a genius,
Because
and he
it
adds his own
it was a
creativity to the
movie
film,
that
and
was
I guess his
unfortunately
expertise in
overshadowed
horror
by
really
Spider-Man.
helps this thriller
came out around the same time or like a week after, and no one saw it. But it's on HBO Max now, and I hope a lot more people are having a chance to watch it because it's such a well-done movie.
Of a John Ford Western in Power of the Dog with this deeply intimate look into like the interesting power dynamics of a family, from the pond scene to the rope scene. It's all just so good. And then lastly, but definitely not least, West Side Story. It's such a great movie.
Will it win? West Side Story. Will Spielberg be recognized for what he did in this? It'll be really interesting to see.
In the best way possible. He makes the story his own. And it's easily one of my favorites from this past year.
This has been so much fun. They should put us in a sitcom remake.
Oh, I agree.
No, they don't need to do that. That's quite all right. Oh, they didn't even say goodbye to him. Wow. They just cut him out.
We would look amazing.
It's messed up.
We make a buddy cop movie. He's the
How about you make a movie about ending the stream?
Came to the big city.
And she's the tough-talking cop from the wild streets of Beverly Hills. Oh my gosh.
Oh
I can
gosh,
smell it.
people.
I smell Oscar
Painful.
2023.
Painful.
Until then, everybody, thank you for joining us, and congratulations to all of the nominees. Make sure to watch this year's Academy Awards on Sunday,
Oh, I will.
March 27th on ABC, and what a treat to spend this early morning with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Leslie?
Yes.
I can't wait for us to reunite.
Soon.
All right. Great job, guys. Great job. All right. That's it. Like I said, a lot to talk about because I was not expecting that Drive My Car was going to get that much recognition, but I am so happy that it has. I mean, I was, again, not expecting it. For foreign film, yes, 100%. If it didn't get recognized for foreign film, I would have been like really shocked and surprised. But the fact that it got director and best picture nods as well, that is amazing. That's an amazing feat. And I mean, again, I don't know the legs it will have as far as, will it win best picture or will it win best director? I mean, when Parasite won that year, that was a major surprise, but a very welcomed one. And it showed us that, the Academy they were open to these foreign films, especially one that is directed and done so well. And I definitely feel you get that with Drive My Car. So very pleased. Let me pull up a full list of these Oscar nominations so that we can quickly recap everything that went down just now. A lot of stuff that we were expecting. But like I said, there were some surprises here. So here, I just pulled up CNN. So let's go back here. Oh, that doesn't look good. Let's see. All right, let me see if I could pull up a different list here. Sorry, guys, just give me 1 second. This will not take long. All right, here we go. Hollywood Reporter. Love this site. All right. So let's just start from supporting actress here. So you got Jessie Buckley, Lost Daughter. Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. Judi Dench for Belfast. Kristen Dunst for The Power of the Dog. And I already forgot how they pronounce her name. Miss Ellis or Mrs. Ellis for King Richard. I'm so sorry about that. Again, the one that I am happy that is getting the most recognition now is her for King Richard. I felt like she was such a strong presence in that movie alongside Will Smith. So really good. Kristen Dunst, I mean, she was the one that a lot of people were talking about because her acting in Power of the Dog was so well done, and I really do feel like it kind of brought her back, because she has been kind of like doing a lot of small things here and there and been kind of absent from the eyes of the movie going audiences for a while now. And I think because of this, like what they said on the broadcast, we hope that this is something that this role will allow people to remember her for this type of acting that she's capable of. But I do feel like the one who should walk away with this is Ariana DeBose. Fulfilling the same shoes as Rita Moreno in West Side Story was a tough task, but she made it her own. I mean, she put so much character into it without mimicking a lot of what Rita did. She really made it her own, made it a little bit more modern, and put a lot of that ethnicity in it that was needed in this type of role. Not saying that Rita didn't, but I felt like it took it to a whole new level here. And I really, really do feel like she's the strong contender for this category. So I'm really, really happy to see that she's getting recognized there. Costume design, I think Cruella, hands down, in my opinion, should run away with that. Best sound, I mean, this could go either way, but I do think Dune has a strong contender for that. Original score, again, Hans Zimmer. How can you not recognize Hans Zimmer with whatever he does and what he did for Dune? If you watch Dune in the movie theater, that was one of the best things about that experience, was the sound and the soundtrack, because it was just booming and just really fit the movie all together, and it was just so well done. Adapted screenplay, again, this was another category that Drive My Car was nominated in. I won't be surprised if they give this to The Lost Daughter for Maggie Gyllenhaal. Excuse me. Because again, just she did such a great job, not only writing but directing this movie. But again, I won't also be surprised if they give it to Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. Original screenplay. My strong feeling, because of the amount of word of mouth that this movie has been getting lately, could possibly go to The Worst Person in the World. But I do think that probably Belfast would walk away with this. Sorry, don't mind the ringing there. You have Best Animated Short. Again, I haven't seen any of these, so I can't really talk about it. Best Live Action Short. I haven't seen a lot of these, so I can't really speak up on it. Best Supporting Actor. You have Kieran Hines for Belfast. He's probably considered to be one of the four runners in this one, but I do feel like Cody Smith-McPhee will walk away with this. His acting in The Power of the Dog was so powerful. But don't rule out Jesse Plemons either. Jesse Plemons did a really amazing job in that movie. And I always feel like he's been nominated here and there. And, sometimes he gets recognition, sometimes he doesn't, but he's done so many of these type of roles. But I feel like this role was probably one of his most powerful ones. Best Film Editing. Maybe this can go to Tick Tick Boom. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say who will walk away with that one. Makeup and hairstyle. I do strongly feel like Cruella. Coming to America. It's amazing that movie was nominated for anything. That movie was a huge disappointment for me last year. I mean, it was one of those movies that, yes, on paper you look forward to because the original is such a classic, but they did so much just to try to recapture the same essence and charm of the original that it just fell flat. So that was a surprise nomination for me in this category. House of Gucci has some good stuff in there too, so that could be a possibility. Animated feature, like I said, it's gonna boil down to Encanto and The Mitchells vs. Machines. Now, if you looked at the buzz in October and November, I think a lot of people were talking about the Mitchells versus the Machines. Lately, with the more recent awards ceremonies and things that have been awarded, Encanto has been getting a lot of recognition lately. So This could go either way. If you ask my opinion, The Mitchells versus the Machines is the stronger of the two movies. So it'll be really interesting to see how that's going to play out. Documentary, I think Summer of Soul is going to win this. Now, I haven't seen Flea or Attica or Ascension or Riding with Fire, but Summer of Soul was such a powerful documentary, and a lot of people were talking about that documentary for the longest time. So we'll see if that carries over. Documentary short, didn't see any of these. Original song. Now, Be Alive, yes, you do have Beyonce, but you also have Billie Eilish for for No Time to Die. I mean, could this be her chance to win an Oscar? Who knows? Down to Joy's Van Morrison. So you have like some really good stuff here. I don't think Dos Oruguitas is going to win. Lin-Manuel Miranda, even though he has been really good at writing the songs for Disney. I just don't think he has a shot in this one. Cinematography. I want to say that this could be a race between Nightmare Alley and The Tragedy of Macbeth. I think the cinematography in both of these movies are so brilliant. But it could also go to West Side Story. I don't know. I have to really think more about that. International feature. Now, this is the category that I do think Drive My Car will win, because I think Drive My Car will have a hard time in winning the overall Best Picture category because of The Power of the Dog. So I do think this is the category that this movie will win. If not, I won't be surprised if it goes to The Worst Person in the World, because a lot of people are talking about that movie recently. Production design, this could go either way. It could be Dune, it could be Nightmare Alley, or West Side Story. It'll be interesting to see. Visual effects could, again, like I said, could this be the movie, the only category that Spider-Man can win for this nomination? It's the only thing they're nominated for. And, you know, with the biggest, Spider-Man was the biggest movie of all of last year. So they could easily give this to Spider-Man, and that could be the one to win this category, but we'll see. Best Actress, they answered my prayers. Kristen Stewart has been nominated. I'm so glad that she didn't get snubbed for this. You have Jessica Chastain, Olivia Colman. Again, I'm not surprised. Very strong contender in here. Penelope Cruz has been getting a lot of buzz recently. So that even though I was surprised, at the same time I wasn't, because a lot of people have been talking about her role in this movie in recent months. Let's go back to what they were saying on this website for Best Actress. No Lady Gaga. Could you call that a snub? Maybe, because a lot of people were expecting that Lady Gaga was going to get a nomination here. So that could be one of the snubs considered for this year. Or going back to supporting actor, no Jared Leto, right? Now, I did say that I was surprised that people were thinking he was going to get nominated, but he didn't. So maybe at the same time, that is the right way to go. So maybe some people will consider that a snub. I don't personally do. But very, very interesting that we didn't see any of that. So Best Actress, I mean, I personally think, well, Nicole Kidman has been getting a lot of talk and buzz lately too. So it could be a race between the three of Nicole Kidman, not Jessica Chastain, Olivia Colman, and Kristen Stewart. Best Actor. Now let's go back to these predictions here. So who was left out? Nobody. It's pretty much the same. So again, the race here is between two, Will Smith and Andrew Garfield. It all depends on how the votes are going to swing. It's going to be a tough call. You know, for the longest time, I personally thought, and a lot of people were thinking, that Will Smith was going to be the one to win this. He'll finally get his Oscar, but Andrew Garfield, he's putting up a good fight because his portrayal in that movie Tick Tick Boom was so good. Could it be that they give this to Will Smith knowing that Andrew Garfield is still a little younger? He has still a lot more chances in future years to do more stuff. Who knows? We'll see. Best Director, again, huge surprise for Drive My Car for Ryusuke Hamaguchi. I am so happy for him. I'm so happy he got nominated for this. I don't know if he has a good shot here because you got Jane Campion, Steven Spielberg, and Kenneth Branagh. Major powerhouses here. So I don't know if he has a chance, if Ryusuke has a chance. This is going to be a tough race. I have to think more about this because it's tough. I like Belfast, but I didn't think it was as strong as The Power of the Dog or West Side Story. But as you know by now, Drive My Car, that is the one that I've been championing this whole time. Denis Villeneuve, no nomination for Best Director for Denis Villeneuve. I'm actually a little surprised by that. What they tend to do sometimes is that they make up for it by nominating the film he's attached to in the Best Picture category, but not to have him in both. Very interesting. That could be considered a snub right there. So I don't know. But Best Picture, again, huge surprise for Drive My Car. Really, really happy to see that included. Let's go look at what the predictions were for Best Picture here. Going down the list, it's pretty much a lot of what we were expecting. I'm so happy Coda was nominated because that is a movie that is well deserving of a nomination. Looking back on last year about movies that were really emotional and kind of like touched like me in the feels like big time, Coda was definitely probably the one that did it for me. It definitely wasn't Dear Evan Hansen, I'll tell you that, but I'm very happy for Coda. Don't Look Up, I don't think that has a chance. I think that the race here is going to be, and before I even say that, Nightmare Alley, so happy that got nominated because again, it's a movie that a lot of people should have seen or should have had more of a chance to see. Like I said, now it's on HBO Max. More people can watch it now, and I hope more people are because it's such a well done movie. But I don't think this is going to be another year like Shape of Water. I do think the race is going to be between The Power of the Dog and possibly West Side Story here. I won't be surprised if either one of those walks away with this award here. Dune, long shot, Drive My Car, who knows? It depends on how the voting swings here. So very interesting. And of course, a lot of people have been saying Belfast as well, but I don't think Belfast is that strong compared to the other ones that I've mentioned. So no real snubs here, in my opinion. I think this is pretty much to be expected. So I think the biggest snubs in a lot of people's minds, and when people are going to start talking about it, is Lady Gaga for actress. I think a lot of people were really expecting her to be nominated for House of Gucci. So that could be the possible biggest snub of this year's Oscars. And maybe to some extent, Jared Leto for supporting and Denis Villeneuve for director. But I'm curious as to what you guys think. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this later. Who are you expecting to win in any of the major categories? Who, in your opinion, was left out here? Who are the biggest snubs, in your opinion, that should have been considered and recognized in this year's Oscars? Let me know in the comments. And again, thank you to everyone who is watching this live. I haven't done a live show in a very long time, so it was really nice to do this again. Don't forget, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You should be able to catch this on podcast format as well a little later on in the day. So if you want to hear this on audio format, you can do so in the Low Key Geek channel in your podcast platform of choice, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or what have you. But thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. All right, guys, thanks.